I work with companies to help them figure out how they're going to move their organization from their current state to some future state. In my opinion, it's really foundational to people. When a lot of times when companies go into looking at, hey, how we're going to grow our company, they may not have the experience, frankly, to figure out what they really need to do, what's really going to create advantage in their marketplace. We can't put a strategy for a soccer team with a football team. It just doesn't work. We have to build the strategy that's going to be designed for the organization. I mean, we've seen, if you think about just in the past few years, how much Chat GPT has just like flipped the script on how people do things across the board. I'll put it like,
Awesome. So my background is much more like when I came out of college and the things I started doing was more communications, PR, and marketing.
I look from the perspective of sustainability. How can we make sure that we're hanging around? I look at stability. How can we build an organization? I look at legacy. How can we have a business that's going to really outlive us? We don't create strategy based on the way things are right now. We anticipate strategy based on the way we expect things to be at a future horizon. Exactly, exactly. I think that the key here is, we've got to have a vision for where the organization is going to go. We have to have a mission or a purpose, why the organization exists. Harvard Business Review came out with an article not too long ago, and they were saying about 70% of strategic initiatives, strategic plans fail. We have to have the right leadership. That leadership needs to be really engaged with what that strategy is going to look like. Everybody on board, let's all row in the same direction at the same speed. Growth is never going to be a single flat line. If we do too much too fast, we're going to disrupt the card. Our team is not going to be
Mhm.
ready for whatever initiative. The team adaptation is never going to be that fast. The team is going to take some time. They're going to make mistakes. They're not going to be comfortable. They're going to complain, et cetera, et cetera. You're not going to sail your boat very, very far, very fast if you've got an anchor. So we create that framework. We build a strategy. We know what we're dealing with at this point. We know where all the bodies are buried. And then we go into the actual implementation of the strategy. We can't be successful, or we can't be as successful when these types of scenarios happen. If we don't make decisions, it's just we're going to have an infestation. That was a really great analogy.
Like now you're a storyteller.
It's great to grow, and we've seen it over and over again with lots and lots of companies that have I think there was, like, some internet retailer, that grew way too fast, and all of a sudden their customer service went down the tank, and, they had delivery issues, and it was taking a
Yeah.
long time for people to get their products, and it was just a nightmare. It's like it's one thing to get the product out the door, but something else entirely to make sure that what the customer receives is what they're expecting. You get a box of donuts that are sitting on the shelf at the grocery store that may be delivered every day, every other day or whatever. But, you know, those donuts at 3 o'clock are going to be horrible.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, just take them and pop them in the microwave for 10 seconds. You stop. You say, hey, we're going to Krispy Kreme right here, right now. And you have that donut experience. It's just like, oh, squirrel, 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 squirrel. But as far as leading change and identifying opportunities, and I'm very, very good at that. We've got to be willing. And I love that fractional work is becoming kind of the thing that people are doing. We've got to be willing to tap into those resources because we can be far more successful if we do.
Yeah. Awesome.
What's the best way to eat an elephant? It's like one bite at a time. It's like telling my kids not to eat all the Oreos. You've got to set up that framework ahead of time. When we as humans allow ourselves to be vulnerable to other humans, we establish trust with those folks.